We're live.
We're about to be. Hey guys, welcome back to the Stuff of Legend. My name is D'Lo, and this is my brother Aaron.
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you guys. He's been on the channel before. We've talked about a lot of monster films in the past, and there's plenty to talk about in the future. I have all intention to have you on so we can talk about the Godzilla trailer eventually. But for now, we are here talking about Venom. Venom! We're going to talk about the Venom trailer. This is a character that we go way back on, just like most of you guys, probably taking it way back to as far as maybe comic books in your early childhood, perhaps arcade games, but probably for most of you guys, it was like the early PlayStation games where like there was no fingers. It was just giant like balls for the hands. And then Venom's like web would come out the top and he's just swinging back and forth and you had to fight Carnage and you got to fight Shocker and all them. Do you remember those games?
Yeah.
Then you had to fight Carnage and you got to fight Shocker and all them. Do you remember those games?
Yeah. So, funny thing is with me, I know that Venom has always been, from the moment I saw him, and I believe it was actually the PlayStation game that we used to play. And this was like, I don't remember when that came out. Was it the 90s?
It must have been 2000 or 2001 or something. It was a long time ago.
Let's just say it's around then. Anyway, so the first time I saw him, he was immediately my favorite villain. Immediately my favorite. I mean, I know he's not a hero, but in a way, he would. If he was a hero, he might even be my favorite, along with Wolverine and the Hulk. I've always loved those three guys. So
because they're like brutal, you know what I mean? It's like they're fun to watch when you see them in action because they're thrashers, man. Like they're brutes. They're strong. You can't take them down. They're the best, you know.
Yeah.
I'm the best at what I do.
I know that Wolverine and Hulk have healing factors. I'm not sure about Venom though.
The symbiote does have a healing factor, and it allows its wearer to heal more rapidly and also resist damage.
I mean, yeah, and like he was saying, is that he is just a brute. I mean, like he's crazy strong.
Stupid strong.
He's got web. I mean, he can literally turn shapeshift. So I mean, think about it. He's basically like a Mystique. He has like the power of Mystique pretty much. If you guys know who that is, I hope you do. Anyway, so I mean, you think what
and
other
invisibility and camouflage, all that stuff comes with that.
I mean, in a way, you could even say that he could rival Doc Ock because he has. I mean, he uses the symbiote almost as a makeshift like arm. Like he can sling that thing and hit something from across the street if he wanted to.
It's like an extension of his arm. He can use it as tendrils off of his back. He pulls people in. Like if you guys ever played, remember the GameCube game that we had? We had a lot of early consoles, but the Ultimate Spider-Man video game where you could swing around the city and eventually you could unlock Venom and then you could run around and eat people.
Yeah, that was good.
Do you remember that? Our buddy Zach, he told me, he's like, dude, he's like, I don't care how this movie comes out as long as we see Venom eat somebody. It's what it is. People want to see Venom be a comic book symbiote. We want to see him be the crazy monster-esque, like nightmare creature that is, it's empowering Eddie Brock, who's a conflicted man, a man with troubles and issues. He's not perfect. He was a bodybuilder. That was one thing that was cool. That was actually the reason why he ends up being stronger than Spider-Man, not only because when he was on Spider-Man, he gets to replicate the powers and abilities of Spider-Man, but also the host that he bonds with is actually way stronger than Peter Parker ever was. And that's because
he's a big jerk.
He's a big jerk. And that's one of the things that we love about him. He's a big jerk and everybody loves him.
Well, and this kind of made me think about something. So as you guys remember, the Tobey Maguire sequels that they did, this was early 2000s.
Yep.
I actually like those movies. I really do. Here's the thing, though, and I'm not saying that the Venom that they used for the third movie was like bad necessarily, but here's my take on it and just my opinion is that they should have chosen a different actor. Not saying that not saying that the guy didn't act well, but I'm saying
it just wasn't a role for him.
Exactly. Like they didn't. the guy was the size of Peter Parker, you know, like or maybe smaller, you know,
right.
And not only that,
and he was creepy, not like ragey.
He wasn't,
you know what I mean?
He wasn't the big jerk like you're supposed to imagine Venom to be. You know, like this guy looks like Lou Ferrigno with the symbiote on him. Like he looks big. You know, like So that's what we want. Like any of us fans, that's what we want. We want authenticity. We want to see some
comic book accuracy.
Exactly. That's what all fans really want. We want to see, you know, by the book basically. And it kind of hurts when they try to go apart from that. And they try to do something kind of different. In their mind, maybe they're trying to think, oh, we're just trying to be trendy, or we're trying to make it fresh. But it's like, really, that's not what we want. We want to see the comic books come to life.
Yeah,
you know.
And I think it's important to note it's okay to tell a fresh story. It's okay to tell a fresh a story or a movie, tell a new version of a story, but the characters and who they are should remain true. And that's because that's what you really bond with. You know, if you're a kid and you're growing up and you like these characters, if you like Spider-Man, you like Peter Parker, or if you like Miles Morales, or if Miles Morales is black, I want my actor to be black. If Peter Parker is white, I want Peter Parker to be white. You know, like if Sunspot is Asian, I want Asian Sunspot or Sunfire, or, you know, like whatever it is. I want accuracy. That's what I want. And they don't have to actually be it. They have to look it, or it has to be believable.
Or even saying like if it's like Jean Grey, for instance, and you know, as you know, she's a woman. It would be honestly, it'd be an outrage in my opinion if
they gender bendered it.
Yeah, if they try to make it like a guy, you know.
I would not even watch
like I said, that's not us trying to be like, you know.
It just is what it is. I'm here for the comics.
We're here to expect what we saw in the comics. Like it's not like we're trying to be. I say it biased, or like, you know, like we're trying to be like against like all like
it's not an issue of prejudice or anything like that. It's just there's a reason why we watch these movies and TV shows. It's for the accuracy. And I will say, to continue the video story forward, the Venom movie looks like they're doing a really good job with the symbiote, like the CGI, the graphics, the way that they did the eyes, even, you know, like he looks so like almost like gooey, but like solid at the same time, like muscle dense underneath.
Well, like another thing is we're looking at a picture.
We're looking at the picture,
and we're looking at the picture of him right now, and it looks like his jawline goes way up here, like this, near his sideburns. Like he doesn't have any hair right now, but it looks like it goes like way up here, and I like that because that looks really creepy and really cool. Because
and his smile literally goes up to here.
Comparing it to how the old one was with Tobey Maguire, I'm pretty sure they didn't do that quite as dramatic, which you know, like I said,
it's like how do you imagine that before CGI was so good?
Another thing is the voice. Remember that they didn't do the voice with this. No. Now they're doing the voice. They're making that like crazy voice now.
We are Venom.
Exactly like that. So they're doing that.
They overlay them with Tom Hardy's voice too, and it sounds really good. I love the voice. I love the symbiote, and even the trailer looks really good. There's a storyline. I forget what it's. Forgive me. I'm gonna have to pull it up quick. I was just telling my brother. It's called. Let me see if I can find it really quick. It was. I think it's Lethal Protector, the Lethal Protector series. Anyway, it's basically what I think they're going for in the movie is they essentially try to clone the Venom symbiote to make more, to replicate it, and they end up getting like 4 or 5 really twisted incarnations of a symbiote. They still are able to create new symbiotes. It's just not the same as the Venom symbiote, and they're crazy. But one of them stands out over the rest of them. I believe it's Scream. Scream is a female, and in the trailer we see an Asian lady. I believe. Let me see. Michelle Lee plays Donna Diego. And this is on the IMDb page. It's not like a spoiler or anything. This is just speculation. But I think she's probably going to be playing a version of Scream, who is like the baddest of all of the new symbiotes that are created after Venom. And after that wave, I think they're probably going to end up like fighting, killing each other off. Maybe Scream's going to go hunt the rest of them down. and then Venom is going to have to try to take her on and maybe defeat her, kill her. I don't know how that's going to go. But there is a lot of rumors that because they cast Woody Harrelson in this, that he's actually going to play Carnage. That he's going to play Cletus Cassidy.
Hey, that'd be cool.
And he can play a sicko too.
Wouldn't that be cool if Carnage made a surprise? If he basically surprised us in this, you know, how cool would that be?
I'd be willing to bet every single person on the internet, you know, alike, and anyone who wants to comment about it. I will self-promote your channel. If you have a channel, I'll call you out. I'll do whatever. But I'm willing to bet that Carnage becomes like a last few minutes thing of the movie. Like as the movie starts to unfold from the primary plot, you're going to see the Venom symbiote in the night start to spawn off another symbiote. And then the after credits, we're going to see Cletus Cassidy in jail or prison. And then we're going to see the symbiote, that second symbiote,
just absorb him. Yeah.
Absorb him. And then we know he's a nightmare fiend. Like the guy is already a serial killer. The guy is already sick and twisted, depraved, redneck, hick, just weirdo guy. And then he loses it even further and bonds with something equally as evil, the spawn of Venom, the actual spawn, not a clone, the spawn of Venom, which is Carnage. And that's another character that everybody's been looking forward to seeing.
Yeah.
Which is, it's so cool. I mean, I can't, if they do that, everyone's going to lose it. And no one's going to be mad that it's not in the MCU anymore. It's like, yeah, okay, give us this as much as you can. We're going to want this. I'm actually really fine now with superhero films being outside of the MCU, as long as, you know, it's characters that are within. I mean, technically, he's in a universe. He's in the Sonyverse, so they plan to make more movies like Michael Morbius, the living vampire from Spider-Man. So Jared Leto already got cast to play him.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of going off what you said about the ending, and I think that would be a really killer ending. I feel like that's something that they would do, like Marvel would end up doing.
For sure. And Sony,
yeah,
Marvel.
And Sony, yeah. Like that just seems like something that they would do to get everybody excited for the next movie. I guarantee you that they would do something like that, or they're going to end up tying in, you know, what's his name, the new guy, the newer Spider-Man. What's that?
Miles Morales or new Spider-Man? Oh, Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
Yeah,
That's his name. I had a brain fart.
Thinking of the actor.
Yeah. So they're going to tie in that Superman or Spider-Man. They're going to tie him in and then show something at the end of this Venom movie or something like that. And they're going to kind of show that they're going to go like Spider-Man versus Venom or something like that.
Yeah.
They might do that, you know. You never know.
You never know. I mean, anything's possible. So we know that Tom Holland is in the MCU right now, and he's on contract as a shared property between Sony. He's a Sony property, but they're letting Marvel borrow him so that he can be in the MCU. And we know that he has Spider-Man Homecoming 2, which is now called, it's officially released as Spider-Man Far From Home. That's the new official title. Some of you guys might not have known that, so I referenced Homecoming 2, but that's what it is. Now, I think he has one more film after that before the original contract is expired, and then he's supposed to, if the plan continues, go back to Sonyverse, where he will then be in the same hopeful continuity as Venom and the universe they're trying to take off there, which would be really cool. I think that would be really great. It's going to be sad to see that be separate from the MCU. Maybe they'll work out a deal so that Tom Holland Spider-Man can stay over here, and maybe they'll get their own Spider-Man in the Venomverse, you know, in the Sonyverse.
Yeah,
I would have as much as we don't like reboots.
I don't like it when they do that. It kind of hurts, honestly.
It does.
I've always been like that. I've always been like, you know, one thing I've loved, like, and not saying that all the Wolverine movies, you know, with what's his name,
Hugh Jackman
have been good. Like, I'm not saying everyone's been like every single movie was amazing, but one thing that I've always liked about that, what they've done, is that they've always used the same actor.
They didn't recast.
They used the same actor for freaking like 15 years or whatever, you know, like 17 years.
Gosh, I think it's been 20 years now.
It's been a long time.
Like, just about, pretty close.
But they've used the same actor over and over and over, and I like consistency. I feel like it kind of hurts when they make a movie, and then they like recast someone else, and they recast someone else, and it's like, you know, shoot, even a lot of people, even my wife has talked about how sometimes she doesn't even like going into these movies because like, oh, it's a different actor already, like, you know,
yeah,
you know,
really?
it's like,
has it happened yet? Have they pulled the trigger?
Yeah, it's like they and I know a lot of it's just logistics and whatever with like the whole way they plan it out. It's all money. They have to make money in the end, and a lot of times, the actors don't sign the contract for a second time, probably because they're doing a TV show or they're doing a different movie, right? Or maybe they just don't want anything to do with it anymore. You know, maybe they just want to do something else.
I know,
or they're busy or something. So I get that, but at the same time, it would be nice if they actually invested and they really chose an actor who's willing to commit to sequels and stuff. Because let's be real, you know, everyone's doing sequels now. So like, it's like
and if you want instant fame, you got to do a superhero film. That's basically like the new popular. You won't get any recognition at the Oscars, but you'll get fan famous instantly. I mean, look at like Tom Hiddleston, who played Loki. He blew up overnight because he played Loki in Thor. And you know, Robert Downey Jr. made a massive comeback after, you know, like alcoholism and some, you know, recovery from like drug abuse and things like that. I think he shared his testimony like right before, like his testimony about recovery from those things and jail time, I believe. But he came back from that, and then he became a superstar through Iron Man, and he's got a whole new reputation now. He is wildly successful, and that's something that
on screen and off screen,
on and off screen, yeah, the whole image in life just turned around, which is great. It's awesome. And Chris Pratt, I mean, he became famous on Parks and Recreations, and you know, like I think there was he did a couple movies that I did not see, but then he got famous because of Guardians of the Galaxy while he was on Parks and Rec. He took a break there, and then he just moved forward. Yeah. And his career, he's one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood right now. It's insane.
Yeah, well, shoot, even look at, well, I mean, I know that Heath Ledger became famous because he died, you know, and part of it is, in my opinion, I don't really, I'm not being disrespectful that he's dead now, but I'm just being, I feel like most people ended up giving him like an extra credit because he did. I mean, first of all, he did an incredible job acting.
Yeah,
but he also, you know, died, you know, while acting. So it's like, you know, everyone was like, "Oh my gosh," you know. But
they kind of romanticized the film.
But yeah, that's just one actor, like kind of saying what you're saying, that really got like big off of, you know, one of the roles he did, and it was a superhero film. You know, and there's something, for whatever reason, it's always etched in our minds. You know, whenever we see an actor do a really good job
in a really iconic role,
wearing a mask, behind a mask. So, yeah, and same thing. Christian Bale, you know, did a great job.
Yeah, I mean, the movie was not a bad film by any measure. It was a great film. Not even just a great superhero film. It was a great film, but I think there's some weight to what you're saying, is that some people can romanticize a film because of the actor or like because of a situation that happens regarding a film, like the Heath Ledger death at the end of The Dark Knight. But I think to tie this back to like the Venom, bring it all full circle. Tom Hardy is a well-respected actor. He was Bane in The Dark Knight. I forget what the name of his character was in it, but he played in that MMA movie, Warrior, and he was jacked out of his mind. I mean, he had more traps than a kangaroo hunter. Like his back was stacked. He was like this in the film and just beefed out everywhere to the max. The film was super emotionally trying as well. Very, very tough to watch in the sense that it's like, it was so powerful emotionally. But like, I expect that we're going to get a really good performance based on what we've seen in the trailers. The second trailer is really long. It's like 3.5 minutes or something like that.
Gosh, I love that trailer.
It's such a good trailer though, man.
Gosh, every part, I was like biting my nails watching that second trailer, because the first one was pretty good, but I only watched it like once or twice. And then I was like, okay, that's cool. I can't wait till it comes out. But like,
there's a lot of mystery in it. It wasn't a lot of content. Now there's content.
Yeah, and this one blew me away. You know, what really kind of intrigued me is what I would notice something is that he was, at the end, he was fighting another symbiote. And I mentioned this to you before we started this video.
Yeah.
That I personally think that's anti-Venom. I really strongly believe that's anti-Venom. And I'm not saying that there's any like comic book relationship why I believe that, but I'm saying that I believe it because he looks like him. You know, he's a lighter color symbiote. He's pretty dang big too. And I think anti-Venom, I'm not totally sure, but I think he is bigger than Venom a little bit.
He is a big dude.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what the size and the scale proportions of that are, but he was a lighter symbiote. He was gray, predominantly gray. Anti-Venom's typically white with black, but you know, I guess that's technically gray. You know, however they choose to adapt that in live. You know, I'm just excited to see the film.
Gosh,
the teaser trailers are meant to excite people and get the hype up, so they'll go see the film, and I think this did its job.
Yeah, and shoot, even the part where he holds, it shows him holding the guy by his neck, talking about how he's going to eat him. This isn't in the grocery store. The part before that.
Outside
where he licks his face or whatever.
Yeah.
That was crazy because I started to realize how freaking huge Venom is. Like
the scale of him, they make him giant.
He's like
probably 8
tall,
feet, yeah,
9 feet tall. I mean, maybe not 9 feet, but he's like pretty. Well, actually, he was kind of scrouched.
He's holding a dude probably 6 feet tall off the ground with his hand, and it was down here by his chest. You know, it's like down here, like you'd hold a coffee cup or something like that.
But he was huge, and I'm like, yes, thank you. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yes,
that's what they got wrong with the Tobey Maguire one.
Is that, especially if I can quote that movie real quick, they remember the news anchor when Venom tackles Spider-Man off that like construction area, and they're like, "What are we seeing here? It looks like there are two Spider-Men fighting over the blah blah blah." And there's, you know, like, and basically the idea was that the civilians in the street had no idea what was happening because there's two Spider-Men. They looked exactly the same.
Same size.
It looked like two black suit Spider-Men, except for one of them was red and one of them was black. And so, and they're same dimensions and everything, and that's not how it should be. Venom should be a giant monster. A monster.
They should say there's some monster and Spider-Man duking it out on this pile of metal.
Yeah, you know, exactly. Like, that's how it should have been.
That's the way it's supposed to be. I mean, like, you're supposed to, when you see Venom, you're supposed to go, wow. I mean, look at those teeth. Like, wow, look at the way his eyes are creepily, you know, they're creepy and they're curved. And
Grandma, what big shoulders you have.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to huff and puff and blow your house down. Yeah, but man, that's another thing is the size. And like I said, we talked a lot about Tom Hardy already. I think I think he's just he's going to do a good job.
He's a phenomenal actor, and he loves the source material. He's going to do right by it. I have faith. I'm totally 100% pumped. I don't dislike anything I've seen so far, except for the weird way they said symbiotes in the first trailer. But it's like, it's kind of potato because growing up, I was always saying symbiote, and I've heard a lot of people say like symbiotes. I've heard that growing up. I don't care for that pronunciation. I like mine, but that's nitpicking to the max. That's not going to discourage me from seeing the film at all. I'm totally there, man. He looks good. He looks good. Aaron, thumbs up or thumbs down for Venom trailer number 2?
I'm just kidding. No,
yeah. Excellent. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been a long trailer discussion, but we're just having fun with it, you know?
Hey, another thing is don't take our opinion for it.
Yeah.
Give us your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear what you have to say about this.
Absolutely, because we've been fans of Venom for a very long time, and I know there's so many of you guys that are also fans, but you probably don't like the trailer. We want to know why. We want to know what it is that you have concerns about, what it is that you don't like, and if you do like it, please let us know what it is that got you super hyped for this trailer, and are you going to go see it in October? Of course you are, because there's no other good films coming out.
And why else would you be watching this? So.
That's right. That's right. Oh, and on that note, one last note. The only other film that was competing with this was the Mowgli film, a remake of The Jungle Book that's not in the same universe as the Jungle Book movie put out by Disney, but it's the one that Andy Serkis is making. They just pulled it from what's it called? From theaters. They're not going to put it on theaters. It's going to go straight to Netflix, which means there's only like 2 other films in October other than Venom. They're not in the same weekend, and they're not action, and they're not horror, and they're not comic book. Venom has a very strong chance to succeed at the box office because it's got an open run for its first like 4 weeks.
No competition.
No competition. It's so simple, which is going to be a huge factor in its box office success.
No real competition. Let's say that.
No real competition. It's like if everyone goes out to see like the mom and pop like PG movie that's like, you know, it's like it's bland as potatoes. You can do that, but anyone who's like us is definitely going to see Venom in October. If we're going to see one movie in October, there is only one option. It's Venom.
There's only one you're going to look forward to. There's only one that people are talking about.
Yeah, I don't even know what the name of the other two are. I only knew of Mowgli, and they just pulled out. That's just going to be Netflix from here on. So that is all I want to say. Let me know what you have to say down in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a like if you like it, love it if you share it, and then also make sure to subscribe if you haven't. We're up to 68 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. And also make sure to turn on notifications to be notified right away when we go live next time. That way you guys don't miss a thing. You guys, thank you. Stay tuned for more right here on
The Stuff of Legend.